Paul Winter of PSO Products. Today I'm going to show the preferred method of making up a set of lines using copper binding wire and thimbles. First thing you need is a set of lines, 4 thimbles, some binding wire and a pair of scissors. If your lines are very lightweight you could use thin nylon or cotton. If you want to put an identification on your lines for up and down, what I tend to do is I put some heat shrink, slide it on the line first before you start making the lines up. When you finish making your lines up, slide your heat shrink over the binded area and shrink with a heat gun. You need to unwrap about 2 foot of lines from the reel. Lock them back on the reel in case they all fly off the reel. Now what you do is you fold over your lines so you have a loop. About 4 or 5 inches tell, and then you take your binding wire and you start binding inside to out towards the loop. And you bind about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. As so. And then you take your thimble. Now your thimble's got a very fine groove in it, and you locate that in the line and slide up your binding up to the thimble. So there we are, that's up to that stage. Now you take the tail that you had, the excess bit, and you cut it off just short of the thimble. And then you start binding backwards the other way. So you've got a double bind, and as you've got the tail folded over, it's not going to pull out. And then you cut off the excess binding wire and then wrap these two together so it's nice and secure, and then cut off the wasted bit and just put it tight. Oops. And that is your finished product. So you've made up one end of the lines, now you've got to make the other end up. If you've got a big enough garden, reel the lines out, and what you do with a piece of tape when you've got the correct length is just mark the lines like that. So you've made up your set of lines, you've put them back on the reel, and now you're going flying. First thing you've got to do is to make sure they're safe. The ideal way is to connect them to the model and do what's called a line pull. You get an assistant to hold the handle, you hold the model, and you gently pull the lines. It should be 10 times the model weight, that's the BMFA ruling, but just give them a gentle pull just so you know they're not going to break in flight. When you're flying, for safety issue, obviously as you take off look around to make sure no one's around, and also do not fly near overhead cables. Even a quarter of a mile away on a dull day you will get static.